Gail Cushman has written and self-published 7 books. The Boise native started out writing murder mysteries, but it was her daughter, Gail tells us, who reminded her to write what she knows. The former Marine told us her daughter said to her, "Mom, you don't know anything about murder, but you do know about being old." So Gail set out to write about that, but with a bit of a twist. Gail started writing her books for those of a certain age back in 2019 when her husband's Parkinson's disease got worse. She did it as a diversion. She's now releasing her 3rd edition of what she calls the Wrinkly Bits series. Yeah, they are books about exactly what that title sounds like. So be warned, you're about to hear some rather subtle references to what certain adults do over a certain age.
I saw Logan again, who was waiting to speak with a desk clerk. I gasped, and my lower deck started turning flip-flops again. At first it was an escape, because I needed an escape when my husband was so sick. I needed to be able to do something different, than just worrying about him, because I knew he wasn't going to get better. I decided, well, I'll write about groups of old people, but what do you call them? Wrinkly Bits.
Other people read that and think other things.
You think? I don't know. 5 years into the marriage, she began to age, and the tables turned upside down. When you age, you get wrinkles. When you age, you get gray hair. When you age, you get sore aches and pains. When you age, you get, you forget things. You start talking, and then in the middle of a sentence, you forget where you're going. And now, 20 years later, her wizened face, neck, arms, and spotted hands gave her the look of someone much older. That's why I called it Wrinkly Bits, but I don't know why I wrote it. It just came to me. Every day when I sit down, I don't know what's coming out my fingers. I have these characters that want to come out, and I sit down, and all of a sudden they're flowing out my fingers, and it's an odd sensation.
Speaking of sensations, is it too simple to say these books are about old people's sex?
It's too simple to say that. Yeah, it is. They do have sex, but it's innuendos. It's not. They're not bouncing on the bed, and I'm explaining it to them. Yes, Griff plays the magic blue kazoo, as he calls it. In fact, it helps him too much. You heard him talk chugga, chugga, chugga 3 times a day, whether I want it or not.
These are 70-year-old people with libidos of 17-year-olds.
Yeah, they are. That's what they are. And, libidos don't go away. People think they do, but they don't. And so, I'm writing about libidos of 17-year-olds and 70-year-old bodies. That's what I do.
When you write them or when you read them out loud, do they make you blush?
I suppose they would, in a sense, but I could have my 13-year-old granddaughter read them. In fact, she picked up one and she was reading it, and she said, "What's a libido?" A libido. What's a libido, Grandma? Well, I'm not telling you right now. Logan is the one that she gets that has all the hots for Audrey, and he's a podiatrist, which is a whole bunch of fun. I noticed he watches feet, yours especially. Does he have a foot fetish? He likes to kiss her toes with whipped cream and do naughty things with her. Toes
and whipped cream isn't a thing for you?
No. I don't know anything about toast and whipped cream. I don't. I promise.
When you tell somebody you're an author and they ask, "Oh yeah, what do you write?" What do you tell them?
Romantic comedies. My eyes wanted to take a peek toward his but I willed myself to blink, and I moved my gaze to his left ear. But believe me, it wasn't that easy. Books about people over a certain age who were, kicking up their heels a bit. I blushed, but prayed Carly would assume it was only another hot flash.
Lots of hot flashes in those books, trust me. Wrinkly Bits, Out of Time, Cruise Time, and then the 3rd book, Wasting Time, that's just been released. Time is the thread here with these books because Gail's husband, Tom, passed away in September of 2020. Gail says they were married 51.8 years because, as she puts it, every minute counted.